Daf Chaf, as we learned in the Mishnah, one of the 5 colors of dam is shachar kecheres. Says the Gemara, this cheres, the pigmentation of ink, is dafka if you mix it with the ink and not with water, and therefore it's darker. It has to be dry, and the color is that pigmentation that settles on the bottom and doesn't float on the top. Shmuel says there are 3 other blacks that are, one of them is wax, black wax, ink, and a black grape. Those are darker than this cheres, and therefore it's tameh. Lighter than that, such as an olive, tar, and a raven, although they are very dark, the Ritva explains that they have some sort of sheen and therefore they appear lighter. That color is tar. Ula says black is like the clothing of Siva. And he pointed once at an Arab that was wearing one of those dark clothing, and his Talmidim ran over to the Arab and they purchased from him parts of his clothing until he sold 400 zuz worth of clothing. Rabbi Yochanan says it's like the tablecloth that they have in Illyrian, and this the Rabbi Yanai said he wants to be buried with Illyrian. He didn't mean the black. What he was trying to say is, don't bury me in black because perhaps I'll make it to Olam Haba and I'll look like an ovel between all Chassanim, and don't bury me in white because perhaps I won't make it to Olam Haba, so I'll look weird wearing white clothing when everybody else is wearing black. So bury me with red. Shmuel says that 4 damim of the Mishnah, the 4 bloods of the Mishnah, you check on a white cloth. The machlokes if he meant also the black color on a white cloth, or black goes on a red cloth. In fact, Rav Yitzchak Bar Avdimi holds that black has to be checked on a red cloth. Ula says that when it comes to all the other bloods, the other colors of blood, darker than those colors is tameh, less than those colors is tar. And I would think, why does the Mishnah Dafka talk about less and more by black? Because we said black was red, that became a kulkul, it got ruined, oxygen or whatever it is, so therefore even less than that would be tameh. Kamashmalan, all colors less are tar. Rabami Bar Abba is mechulik. He says, everything else besides black, if it's less than the color in the Mishnah, it's also tameh. The reason why the Mishnah gives us a color to tell us that if it's much less than the Mishnah, then it's tar. Another lashon of Rabami is, it doesn't matter, more or less is tar besides black. Bar Kapara says, the only difference in colors is the one color in the Mishnah, mazuk. When it looks like diluted wine, then more is tameh, darker color is tameh, less is tar, just like we said by black. In fact, they tested him, they sent him samples, and he was right on, and they said that his heart is like his Torah. Karkoim, this flower, the art scroll, according to the art scroll, this flower right over there, says the Gemara, it has to be moist and not dry. Says the Gemara that Karkoim has 3 rows of leaves. If you go according to the art scroll, it's the stems inside the leaves. The one that's red, and we're going to take our specimen of red from, is the center row. And in the center row, the best one is the center one. That's the darkest, the brightest red. That's the one that we're talking about. The other ones are okay, but not as good as the middle of the middle row. The Mishnah says, Meimei Adoma, the waters of the earth. So we explained, says the Gemara, you pour water. It doesn't matter how much earth you have. You pour water until it absorbs all of it. Then you pour more than that is the thickness of the outside of a garlic, the peel of a garlic. Then you mix it. The Gemara says, do not mix it in your hand. And there's a subject in the Gemara, can you use your finger to mix it? You do so in a glass cup, and you don't move it away from its place. There's going to be a machlokes, what place? Rabbi Meir says, Bikas Beis HaKerem, Rabbi Akiva says, Bikas Yotfas, Rabbi Yossi says, Bikas Sachni, Rabbi Shimon says, even Genoisar, in any place that's similar. But once you move it away from that valley to another place, it loses its coloration. Rabbi Chanina would check dirt without water. So Rabbi Shmuel cursed anybody that does such a bdika. Besides Rabbi Chanina, who is a tremendous chacham, says Rabbi Yochanan, the chacham of Rabbi Chanina caused me that I shouldn't check Niddah. Why? Because anything that I said tar, he said tameh, and what I said tameh, he said tar, I gave up. Rabbi Lezer says, the anav of Rabbi Chanina caused me that I should check. Even though he's such an anav, he went down into it and he was able to check, so too I. Says Reb Zera, the science, according to how they explain, tiva, some people say it's coins, but the science of Bavel, the scientist of that day, caused me that I shouldn't check Bleeker cloths. Why? Because even Rabbah, who knew science, didn't know the difference, how to differentiate in bloods. Certainly I, that I don't know science, I don't know how to differentiate. Ula, when he came to Pumbedisa, wouldn't check the Bleeker cloths. He said, Rebbe Lazar, who was considered the biggest baki in Eretz Yisrael, he didn't check when he came to Rabbi Yehuda's place. I'm not going to check when I come to Pumbedisa. Why was he so great in Bedikas? Because once a woman came to him and he just smelled the Bedika and he said, this is dam chimud. This is dam, not, it might come from the makar, but not as Niddah blood, but as a taiva that a woman had for her husband. And later on, Rabami went out and he met that woman and she said, in fact, it was dam chimud, and he called her, he said, Soid Hashem lireya, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave the secrets to his friends. If her Hurmiz, who was a guy but wanted to be Mizgayer, she used to be makbid anida, she sent her dam to Rava, he smelled it and he said, this is dam chimud, and she said to her son, look how smart these Jews are. So her son said, look, maybe he was just lucky, he guessed correctly. So she sent to Rava 60 samples and he was correct on all of them. Besides the last one, which was a sample of a louse. Hakadosh Baruch Hu made a ness that Rava, instead of answering her, he sent her a lice comb. And she said, oh, he was hinting to me that it's from a louse. And she said that how much siyat shmaya, the heart, and the siyat shmaya that Jews have. Rav Yehuda heard his own wife saying that she doesn't give the first dam to a Rav because it smells too bad. He said, if so, I can't check Niddah forever, because perhaps women don't show the first dam, and the first dam is what is tamei. And by showing later on dam, maybe that looks tar, and that's not the correct psak. Yalta, who was Rav Nachman's wife, brought her dam to Rabbi Chana, and he said it's tamei. So she went later on to Rav Yitzchak, who's mitayr. Explains the Gemara, you can't go to another Rav to get a heter after you get a psak of tamei. What happened was, she explained that this exact dam was always tar by Rabbi Chana. Just because his eyes hurt, he made a mistake. In fact, the woman is believed to say, this is what it looks like, and I lost the cloth. However, the Gemara is mesubik if a woman has ne'emanos on her friend's dam, if it's there to be checked. Says the Gemara, how do you check? Rebbe used to check la'or haner, to a candle. Rabbi Shmuel would check when it was a cloudy day. That's the best light between the beams of the Beis Medrash. Rabami says you check it in the sunlight, but you put your hand like this to create shade. Have a wonderful day.